Hi, everybody. It's Meet the Experts series. I'm Rachel Leonard, editorial director of the Bridal Council, and I'm so excited to be speaking with Jenny Packham, one of UK's most successful and independent fashion brands with global recognition. Her design house is the go-to choice for both social occasion and bridal. And Jenny just designed an exclusive capsule collection of evening wear to celebrate the 60th anniversary of James Bond, where the Duchess of Cambridge attended and looked so amazingly gorgeous in that sparkly gold dress. Hi, Jenny, how are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Tell us a little bit about the 007 collection. Were some of the who were some of the James Bond actresses that inspired the designs?
Well, we worked, Eon Productions came to us, and next year they're celebrating 60 years of Bond. So they said, would we like to put together a capsule collection that comes out in time with the film? And obviously two of the pieces from the collection are our dresses. The one for Casino Royale that Caterina Marino wore, and the one from Die Another Day that Rosamund Pike wore. So they were, straight off kind of copies of those pieces.
Okay.
Then the other ones were a mixture of being inspired by the film, like The World Is Not Enough. There was a lot of explosions in that film. So we did this wonderful dress that looks like a flame. And then we had the Spy Who Loved Me, Barbara Bach, which was a kind of a real take on the one that she wore, but adding on a lovely chiffon cape to it. So it was a sort of a mixture of sort of being inspired by some, one of the dresses from the film or from the film. But it was a lot of fun, actually, and very interesting to look at the whole sort of, collection of Bond dresses, because there's actually not as many as you think, because up to a certain point, most of the time they were wearing bikinis.
Right, exactly. Rarely were they dressed up for a special occasion, except for, at the casino or something like that. And so do you see some of these gowns being worn to weddings for guests or for the celebration for the pre-wedding parties?
Absolutely. I mean, I think at the moment people are really, when they get the opportunity, we all really feel like we really want to dress up. And I think that we're seeing quite a take up with those designs for, lots of celebrations that people have waited, so long, to happen.
It's
so
perfect.
Definitely.
I know,
I
it's
think
like
any excuse at the moment.
any use works is great. And let's bring it back to wedding dresses. Was any of this collection, your capsule collection that you had for wedding dresses, did that work side by side with your designing the 007 series?
No, not really, because we did that a little while before. In a way, the capsule collection was, I think, as we've all seen in the bridal business, I'm seeing a real shift in, what brides are looking for. I think they're dressing much more sort of in the moment, not worrying so much about it being classic or, just really sort of celebrating, this time that we're in, which is hopefully coming out of, this terrible period that we've had. So I think it was interesting to see what was sort of happening during that time, and trying to put together a collection of something that we didn't already have, something a little bit more fashion. And we pulled some of the, the best styles from our previous collection, evening wear collection, and, made them into sort of much more sort of a bridal look, but something a little bit more kind of, they're more just sort of lovely crepes, they're more sort of pure and a little bit more understated, because we've already had the, the previous collection as well that, given the year that we had not particularly sort of been looked at yet. So we were just adding additions to that.
Exactly. And you were really one of the early designers to bring fashion into bridal. And I think today, would you say that brides are more accepting of fashion and bridal than ever before?
Well, I think when I started designing bridal wear, it wasn't cool for a designer to do bridal wear.
Nope.
No, but to me, it was the same kind of aesthetic and, the same sort of practical sort of way of making something. And I started doing it because people wanted something. And then looking at it, I used to look at, I'm afraid I did used to look at the magazines and think, how is this so different? Why is this world so different? It was like going into a different sort of, going onto another planet really to buy a wedding dress.
Absolutely.
And a lot of sort of historical references always. So my feeling, it came from a sort of, you know, really wanting to do something lighter that, you know, people could sort of feel more, you know, in that they could enjoy the day instead of these sort of very big gowns that were very kind of constrictive. So yes, I mean, I think we were being asked to make versions of our evening wear at the time, and we were doing the very sort of the tulle with the beading, the sort of slightly 1920s, 30s look. And there was definitely a sort of, you know, people wanted something different. And I think, yes, I mean, I would have to say I was probably one of the sort of, you know, usually, you know, bridal designers do evening wear. I think to do evening wear and go to bridal wear wasn't sort of something that a lot of people did. And I'm so happy if I played a part in making it now much more of a fashion, you know, much more in tune with current fashions.
Exactly.
If you go back to the 20s or the 30s, you know, women really were wearing a much more exciting version of what was actually in fashion. And then we went through a strange period in the sort of 80s, 90s of really dressing in sort of historic looking, you know, garments.
Right.
And I think now we're going to find that we're moving into another era of bridal wear where, again, it's like really is reflective of what's happening in fashion and a little bit more exciting, I think.
It's very exciting right now, what you see offered out there. And it was very exciting when I saw your collection early on compared to, like you said, it was all period pieces, a lot of it and very heavy, and yours was always so effortless and easy to wear and modern and very cool. So your signature look, describe a couple of your signature looks for those who don't know who Jenny Packham is, young ones.
Yeah. It's, you know, hopefully it's a sort of, it's more of a sort of ethereal look. And I just think when I'm designing, you know, you know, there is always sort of inspiration. I mean, the 30s is a really wonderful time to look at. But I think really my sort of overarching sort of theme when I do bridal wear is sort of just to make it beautiful. And also I have to make someone fall in love with that dress, you know, and it has to somehow speak to them. It has to have something magical that gets them, you know. So it is a different, very different thing to evening wear. So yeah, I mean, how do I describe it? I think, you know, it's lighter, it's chiffons, it's chulls, but it's not. Yeah, it's more effortless. I think to me, it's very important that the woman is the most important thing on her day, and she isn't sort of drowned by her dress. I think it's very much about her wearing it and taking it on as, you know, something that doesn't compete with her in any way.
Exactly. And that actually is almost my last question is, do you have any style secrets to help brides choose their most unforgettable wedding dress?
Well, I actually got married 5 years ago to my long-term partner, and I have to say my wedding dress was the most difficult thing I'd ever designed, because I had to think about me, and I'm always thinking about other people. But I think the things that I thought to myself was, you know, this is a once in a lifetime, hopefully, experience. And, you know, to really sort of enjoy it, push yourself a little bit, and really sort of conjure up that image of yourself that you always sort of think of, you know, and what is your style. And actually, it was a very nice sort of thing to go through, to actually kind of really home in on what, you know, really does what you know, that, I mean, every day we sort of think, oh, I must make more effort, but we tend to put the same things on. Well, this is your day, really enjoy it, and, you know, go for that image that you always have of yourself, but you don't quite, you know, get there.
Exactly.
And also, you know, the usual things, you know, if you go to, you know, we go to a boutique or a store, you know, just take a friend that you really trust to tell you the truth, and, you know, someone you're going to have real fun with. I mean, you're getting married, it's all about celebrating. And I think the whole, you know, whereas I think when I started in the bridal business, it was all about getting the dress. Now it's about the experience, you know, and every sort of moment of that counts. So, you know, research where you want to go and, you know, spend your money and choose your dress as well. And yeah, I think it's, you know, it's all about being happy.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And I just wanted to say it was great to see you and have a great rest of your day. Thank you,
You too.
Jenny.
Thank you very
Bye-bye,
much.
everybody.